Raptors are now 3-1 on the year as they hang on to beat the Orlando Magic 104-95 there at Scotiabank Arena this evening. And for most of the game, the Raptors had this one in control, and we'll get to kind of what happened in the latter stages a little bit later on. Now, we're going to start right in the first quarter. Raptors play perfect ball. The ball movement is incredible. Their on-ball defense is spectacular. They're doing a fantastic job. They win the first quarter by 9, 31-22. A really good first quarter. Second quarter, again, Raptors start having a tough time shooting the ball. The bench really didn't give them that much of a punch off the bench. 24-20 in favor of the Magic. However, Raptors still up by 5 at halftime, so that's okay, including Kyle Lowry's coast-to-coast buzzer beater there at the end of the first half. Great job by Kyle there. Now, we go to the third quarter, and the third quarter has kind of seemed to be the Raptors' really good quarter this season. I don't know what it's been, but they've really made that big punch kind of in third quarters, and I really like what we saw from them today. The defensive intensity there in the third was incredible. Only allowed 21 points. They scored 27, plus 6 in the quarter. You're plus 11 heading into the fourth quarter. Things are looking real nice. And then about, midway through, actually, by the way, let me go back to the third quarter here. It was in the third where Fred VanVleet, oh, baby. I mean, he got Markelle Fultz on skates. I know that's where they play hockey, but I damn sure know there was no ice out there. And, Fred VanVleet made Markelle Fultz look pretty rough as the stop up, the ankle break, and then knocks down the three. What a play by Fred VanVleet, who offensively really didn't have a great ball game, but that really just highlights it, and what a shot by Freddie VanVleet. I think it was in the third quarter, if not it was the early part of the fourth, but in the fourth quarter, about midway through, the Raptors' offense just stalls. They can't get anything. They couldn't get stops. And a 13-0 run by the Orlando Magic. And just like that, the Raptors are down by 2. What the heck happened? And, for most of the time when they were coming back, I'm like, the Raptors will make their punch. They'll be okay. Then they went down 2 in the Terrence Ross 3, and I'm like, oh my. I'm not sure how I feel now. Out of the timeout, they give it to Pascal, and he just bullies Jonathan Isaac on the inside. By the way, Isaac is fantastic. He had an amazing game for Orlando today, but Pascal went to work, got the N1 out of the timeout, They make their shot coming down the next way, and then Kyle Lowry knocks down a big-time 3, and then the Raptors just take over from there as they roll to the 104-95 victory at Scotiabank Arena and remain perfect at Scotiabank Arena at 2-0. They're 1-1 on the road, 2-0 at home. Hey, what we've learned from Raptor fans and the Raptors players over the past little while is the Raptors are an amazing home court team, and you saw that once again today. And the great thing that I like about what we saw from the Raps today, and I don't care who they were playing, but to watch a team go on a 13-0 run in the late parts of the fourth quarter and for the opponents to take the lead, it's not easy to grab that game back and pull it in favor of yourself. But after that timeout from Nick Nurse, do the math, guys. The Raptors went on a plus 11 run to end the ball game. That is huge. I don't know what he said during the timeout. I don't know if it was just kind of like a reset button. I don't know what it was, but whatever happened, it worked. And they got the job done. And guys, can we talk about OG Anunoby's defense today? I don't know what his numbers were defensively. He had 5 steals and 2 blocks. He just looks incredible. I think he had a 4-block game earlier, one of the early games in the season. I think it was against Boston or was it against Chicago? I think it might have been against Chicago. Let me try and find that for you guys. I think, was it the big, there was a 4. So he had a steal and 4 blocks in the last game. And then today he has 5 steals and 2 blocks. We're seeing young OG kind of take that next step. I mean, offensively, he looked good today. He had 12 points, 8 boards, couple assists on 5-11 shooting, 2 of 4 from beyond the arc, plus 8 on the floor. He got the 5 steals and a couple blocks. Again, he's slowly starting to find himself, and I love what we're seeing from OG Anunoby, at least to start the year against these good teams. He's really starting to do some good things, but I'm not sure what his numbers were against Boston. Let me actually check that out here, guys. He had 9 points and he fouled out. But he shot well. He shot 4 of 5 and 1 of 2 from 3. So, I mean, look, all year so far, OG, now that he's healthy and not having, the family issues that he was having last year and whatnot, he's able to go out there and ball. And he is doing so. OG looks really good. Pascal had another great game. 24 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, almost a double-double. I think he actually did have a double-double. And this might not be updated. But he shot 9 of 16, 5 of 5 from the line, 1 of 4 from 3. But again, does a lot of other things. Turned the ball over only 3 times. So it's good to see Pascal kind of bringing that number down a little bit, and he was a +9 on the floor. But the big names that I like to see get work and do well, and when these guys are chugging and doing their thing, it's almost an automatic victory. When Marc Gasol is doing a good thing, and Lowry is doing his own good thing, good things happen for the Raptors. And Marc Gasol, I know everyone was on him in that Boston game, and I don't blame him. I don't blame anybody for getting mad at Marc Gasol for that game. But he was better in Chicago, and he was much better today. He had a double-double, 10 points, 10 rebounds, 4 of 7 shooting, 2 of 3 from beyond the arc, plus 60 on the floor. Marc Gasol was a lot better in this game. We got to remember, I mean, people want to rip him apart and say he should trade him, he's old, blah, 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 whatever you want to say about Marc Gasol. Can we remember how, first off, that they played in the NBA Finals, and he partied his damn face off, so you got to regroup from that. Plus, he played in the Euro. He played, nationally. And he went all the way. He won the championship there. So he played all of that as well. So Marc Gasol is not a guy who's had a total offseason. He hasn't stopped. So yeah, he had a little bit of a slow start, but I think over the last couple of games, Gasol has looked a lot better, and especially in today's game. There were a couple shots that I thought, he should have made, a couple bunnies in the inside that I thought he should have made, but overall, a much better game for Marc Gasol. And Kyle Lowry, the man, the legend of the Toronto Raptors, Kyle Lowry, 26 points, 5 boards, 6 assists. He shot 7 of 18, so not the greatest there, but he 9 of 10 from the line, 3 of 11 from beyond the arc. But again, the dog, the grind, the big shots and the big moments. Again, he helped end that really bad 13-0 run. It was Siakam's and 1 and a big 3 from Lowry that got it going. Yeah, he shot 3 of 11 from 3, but one of those 3, I think actually 2 of his 3s were massive down the stretch. I think maybe just 1, but nonetheless, he made some big shots down the stretch to help this team win. And that's all that matters. People who read stats are going to say that he didn't have a good ball game percentages-wise, but if you actually watch the game, you know what Kyle Lowry did. You know what that guy did on the floor in that game. And you know he was awesome. So a great job by Lowry. A great job by them. And Fred VanVleet, again, the shooting struggles continue for Fred VanVleet a little bit. He had 14 points, 5 boards, 6 assists on 3 of 14 shooting. 1 of 7 from 3. He had a couple of steals. He was 7 of 7 from the line. He was a +8 on the floor. So he didn't hurt the team. So I'm not going to blame anything on Fred. Because when he got to the line, he was perfect. So that's the big thing for Fred VanVleet, and I liked what I saw from him. Serge Ibaka, this guy has been an absolute mission coming off the bench. Played 22 minutes, 9 points, 10 boards, 3 of 10 shooting, 1 of 5 from 3. Not the greatest there, but again, just the energy that Ibaka brings night in, night out. You just absolutely love it. He was a -10 on the floor, obviously. That's why Marc Gasol played the more minutes at 26. But again, not a bad night for Serge. 1 point away from a double-double. Good stuff there. Norman Powell has not found his stroke yet. At all. He had 4 points, 20 minutes. He shot 1 of 7, 0 of 4 from 3. He just looks like he's rushing himself. He looks like he's just forcing things. Norman Powell just got to go out there and do his thing. Play good defense. Make your easy shots. Knock him down. And I thought a lot of his threes he was taking today were a lot of line drives. You're not Kawhi Leonard, bud. I love you, Norm, but you're not Kawhi. You're not knocking down a line drive 3 and people scratch their heads how you do it. He's got to make a shot. He's got to be fluent. Just be natural, Norm. Don't force anything, big fella. Nonetheless, though, no matter what Norm struggled, whatnot, the Raptors do come away with the victory, and that's all that matters in the end to us. All right, they now improved to 3-1 on the year, so there's great things going on there for Raptor fans. Good stuff. The next game for the Raps is they welcome in the Detroit Pistons to Scotiabank Arena on Wednesday, 7:30 tip-off there. Is Blake Griffin going to play? That is the question. I do not know. I'm going to try and see here. to see. He says he's out with a hamstring, likely missed 7 games. That was a week ago. So he is going to be out against the Toronto Raptors there on Wednesday. So I'm assuming the way it looks, again, like we talked about in the last video, they're not automatic victories, but they're games that you should win. And if you're the Raptors, you watch a game, you know, I mean, I think the Pistons are now 2-2 on the year. Yeah, they're 2-2 on the season. But again, if you're the Raptors, you're at home, you're feeling good, you're not on a back-to-back, they aren't either, but you're not on a back-to-back, you've won a couple games in a row. Again, they don't have Blake Griffin in the lineup. You got to dominate these guys. And Andre Drummond's a freak on the inside, you all know that. But we know with Marc Gasol, he can play hard too. So it's going to be a very interesting test to see what happens on Wednesday against Detroit. And anybody telling me that... you know, oh, you beat Orlando, you beat Chicago, and you beat New Orleans. I mean, not very good teams. You got to play them at some point. You go out there, you get a victory. You win 1 of 82. That's all that matters. I don't care who you play. You're going to play the Milwaukee Bucks for all I care. You win? Great. You beat Chicago? Great. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter who it is. All right, so the next opponent is Detroit. That is who we focus on. We know, I think it's on Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. Saturday against Milwaukee in Milwaukee. We all kind of looking forward to that. It's kind of like a rematch of the Eastern Conference Finals last year. And you know Milwaukee looks like a really good team again this season. So people are looking past the Detroit Pistons. Who knows? Could be kind of a trap game if you want to say that. If you're the Raps, if you're our fans, you look at Detroit. You don't look past them. You focus on one game at a time. You're 3-1 right now. That's awesome. You gotta keep going. All right, so you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you guys enjoyed this video and you guys enjoyed the basketball game there today, smack that like button. Do appreciate that. Hit that subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below your guys' thoughts on the game, your thoughts on the video, all that great stuff. And, I mean, I didn't mention any of the, you know, shooting numbers and whatnot. It wasn't a great shooting night. Rebounding wasn't crazy. Nothing really stood out so much. That's why I didn't want to bring things up, and I knew it was going to be a long video overall. So I just want to let you guys know that's why I didn't mention any of those stats, because it just didn't make sense. There wasn't anything that jumped out at me like the 22, 25 turnovers in the last few games. So nothing crazy happened in this one. That's good. That's kind of good to see. Good to say, though. I mean... You didn't get 20 turnovers. That's a positive. All right. So I want to hear your guys' comments down below on everything towards the Toronto Raptors. What do you think of this team? Where do you think they are going to seed? Where do you see this team going? I mean, do you see them being a pretending team in the 4th and 5th seed? Maybe go past the first round and get knocked out in the second? Or do you see this team being a legit contender? I mean, look, the way this Raptor team plays defense, you can never count this team out. They have won a championship. I know Kawhi Leonard won the championship. We keep hearing that stuff all over. But you got to remember, a lot of these guys, most of these guys, were on the roster last year, know what it takes to win a championship, and defense can do so. And you look at the last 2 games, you give up 95 against Orlando and 84 against the Bulls. I mean, it was a great job by the Raptors in that game today. Defensively, except for the 4th quarter, so I want to hear your guys' thoughts. I'm rambling again, so I want to hear your guys' thoughts on this game, this team, everything towards Toronto Raptors. And I will, and Twitter's down below for myself, guys. Follow up, send me a DM, do all that great stuff. And I will talk to you guys Leafs edition tomorrow as Leafs welcome in Alex Ovechkin and the Washington Capitals to Scotiabank Arena. I will be at that game there tomorrow night, so the video will be uploaded a little bit later than usual, but don't you guys worry, it'll be uploaded tomorrow nonetheless. As for the Raptors, as we talked about, they welcome in the Detroit Pistons to Scotiabank Arena for a Wednesday night affair, 7:30 tip-off there at Scotiabank Arena. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Talk to you guys then.